I've with Stateside Pressman with Impa Kasanganay, who returns to action on June 23rd at XMMA 5. Impa, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing, Miss Alex? You good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be talking with you again. Dude, 12 days out. How you feeling?
12 days out, feeling great, prepared, ready to go. Blessed, focused in.
Awesome. Awesome. That's awesome to hear. Before we talk about your upcoming fight, Impa's Refinery. That's kind of new.
Hey,
Tell me about
appreciate
that.
you. Thank you. Yeah, so it's my own training business. I'm teaching private lessons, group sessions. I travel to here. We meet like at a centralized location here in South Florida. We're even online and I'm teaching what I use in the cage, but also helping people get in the best shape and sculpting the bodies to be the best version of themselves. The reason I call it the refinery is like I had to look at it how I'd work with myself. And I said, what would you use as a pro? What would you use as an amateur? And you always have to refine yourself. And part of a refinery is like you bring the gold in and it has all the impurities around it. And you got to go through the fire. So for me, I want to go through the fire with you so you can become the best version of yourself. And just been building off of that. A quote that I love is by Epictetus. He says, how long are you going to wait before you demand the best of yourself? And I believe that to align with the refinery.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. That's fantastic. I'm happy that you're doing that because you have a lot of info to give people.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you mentioning that. Yeah, for sure.
Of course, of course. It's been 4 months since your last fight with Raymond.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what you learned from that fight.
Man, I learned that I can go with the highest level fighters in the world, at a high pace. And it doesn't matter where the fight goes on the ground, standing up, like I can control it and set the tone. And when I make a decision, I'm gonna go do it. So fighting Raymond was an honor, and he's a special fighter. He's had some great pedigree, and he's a cool guy. He came to fight, and he's crafty, right? And I realized that me moving to Sanford, the Kill Cliff Fight Club now, right, is a special place to be. And without Coach Jones, Coach Saeed, Coach Lentz, Coach Truth, everybody here, like Coach Kami, like without being here and all the training partners I have from Phil Haas, Gregory Rodriguez, Delano Taylor, you name it, right? Um, I I don't know how I don't know how I would have done. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place to be. Coach Dieter, like at Stroud. I mean, I can just list off all the people I get to work with and how much they played a role. So to fight a guy at that level and do how I did, I'm looking forward to building.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So XMMA, how did this come about?
Man, I want to stay active. It was Eagles harder to get a fight after the Raymond fight, and I was planning to fight Robinson on the 20th, and they didn't offer him anymore, and I don't know what happened. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I just want to stay active and talk to my agents, and they're doing great. Dave Martin, Randall, Oren, Jamie, Tato, they're all like just working in unison and being really professional about it all. So just helping me stay active and get fights, and that's all I want to do. I want to keep moving forward. Go back to UFC, become champion there, and just this is a step in the process, right? So Jared Gooden, good fighter, right? He's UFC veteran as a fighter too. He's got an awesome record, and I'm looking forward to this. It's one of those things where you're just like, thank you to the agents that I'm working with, and thank you to the team that I have because I'm definitely prepared. So just want to keep building.
Yeah, so Jared Good, ex UFC fighter, had a pretty good run before he left. Did you know who he was before he was offered to you?
I did. I don't know if we're gonna fight or not, but it's more like I would see his name pop up a lot, and then that's when I was fighting at 85 all the time, and he was at 70. But I've always seen him on the local circuit, and he's a good fighter. He comes to fight. He's done what he's needed to do, and I was told once that we were offered to fight each other. I never saw that, but hey, it's time now.
What do you think of the matchup?
I love it. I love it. He's a challenge. He's a good fighter, and he's somebody who comes to fight. He's got his game. He's got things that he does, and you see me dominating the fight, posing my will moving forward. Really, so.
Yeah. You're going back up to middleweight for this fight?
Yep. Sure.
Are you? Is your body thanking you?
My body loves it. My body loves it. I mean, the guy looks like 70, 85 in the cage. You feel great, but man, the process before is so much nicer. 85, right? So, it's cool because I'm naturally lean. Like you're not naturally, but I've always been pretty lean. Whether I was 245 or I was 235 or 220, like always been a lean guy. So to be 85 or even 70, be that much leaner. But 85 is great. Yeah. So it's like healthy, solid cut, not as many injuries in training. So it's cool. It's like when you see the benefits, and like I did well at 85 for a long time. And the only fight I lost at 85 was Buckley. Then I lost to Bryan Barberena when I was an amateur. So that was like, that's, where I really see a lot of, high percentage of winning. So it's like, let's keep it going.
So is welterweight kind of done at the moment?
No, it's not done at all. I would have fought at heavyweight if somebody was wanting to fight, like I would have fought at anything. I told anybody at 170 and up, I was ready to go. Even with Eagle, I told him, I said, hey, anybody 170 and up, like, let's fight. So I'm here to do, here to become the best, here to move forward. And if there's a fight opportunity and somebody's willing to sign that contract and close the cage behind them, like, it's all respect and let's go. So I 85 came up and I was like, let's go. It's great. And my agents are doing their job, and here we are.
At the end of the day, July 23rd, how do you get your hand raised?
July 23rd, it's my best performance to date. I definitely strategically put the fight together, patient, calm, creative finish, with discipline. All of my coaches have been working on and behind the scenes, and finish with my hand raise, leave, collect my 2 checks. Thank God, thank my family, thank my team, then fly right back, get back to work, and hopefully fight 2 weeks later.
Are you excited to be fighting in South Carolina?
Yeah. My family lives in North Carolina, about an hour away. Back in the Carolinas, the good South, kind of near where I grew up. A lot of people, a lot of familiar faces, right? Probably some people from Jimmo will probably be there, and just a cool environment. It's good to have a reset. The last time I was in South Carolina and I fought, and I got a cool finish, and plan to do that again. And it's a beautiful place, man. Just like the South, it's a lot slower. You see a tractor, see some cows. Like, it's the it's the place for me to be. And I'm grateful to be back around there. It's a cool place to fight at this time of my life, and it's a good step moving forward.
Are you excited to have family and friends?
Man, yeah, fight? For sure. I mean, yes, because when I got in the UFC, it was during COVID, so the only person that really got to see me fight was my dad. Right, he courted me twice, and I so I was honored to have him there. But now my mom, my brother, my sister, everybody I love is going to be there. Like, just everybody I love. Like, it's gonna be special. So I'm more excited than we could imagine. My girlfriend's gonna be there. Like, everybody, just like a whole crew of people, right? So it's just one of those things where you're like, man, my mentor, his family, like, it's just I'm already thinking about people gonna be there, like, just people I haven't seen me fight. So it's gonna be the best version of myself. So you're looking forward to sharing that moment with people that really, really matter to me. And then also just being able to fight in front of people again. Like, I haven't done that pretty much since I got in the UFC. So the second time in the Contender Series, all my UFC fights, I mean, I guess you could say like this first time I fought at welterweight, there were some people in the crowd, but not really. And then the last time when I lost, I was like, oh, then Eagle, but my family couldn't make it because we only had 2 tickets. So it was just like a few very select people. So this is gonna be something special to me, and I'm looking forward to doing what I do.
Awesome. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. And I was gonna ask you, is UFC, are you done with them, or are you open to returning if need be?
For me, my focus is, just keep moving forward. I mean, I wanted to fight. I wanted to stay active. I just couldn't really get a fight, after the women one. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were doing their best. I mean, I don't know. I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight. I was supposed to fight Ramazan. I think they pulled him. He's one of their guys, and it is what it is. And I believe I won my last fight, right? Like, it was close, but then I dropped him. And there's certain things like, whatever. But it's just one of those things I gotta burn the ships on. And I would have loved to fight. I really wanted to fight Ramazan because I know he's a high level fighter. He fights well. He's done well. And then that didn't come. That didn't come up. So it's like waiting. I was supposed to fight the 20th, no replacement. And then their July 29th card, I guess, got moved. So the cool thing about it is I'm staying active. And if they offer a fight and it's a one-off fight or something, and they can move forward, that's it. But my main focus is this fight, 1 or 2 more, this one or whatever. Then back in the UFC and stayed there for the long haul. You know, made my way to the top. So um, nothing against them, nothing against anybody there. Really, just more like I want to really stay active and get going. So
Awesome. Finally, I wanted to ask about Robbie Lawler versus Bryan Barberena.
I had a
You
feeling you're
have
gonna ask. Yeah.
you have history. You have history with both of them.
Mhm.
Like when you're watching that fight, like your teammates with Bryan, now your teammates with Robbie. So like, how is it watching that? Like watching that fight?
It's one of those things where you're like, man, you never thought it would happen just because like Ryan and I used to be pretty tight, right? We at the time we were best friends. You know, we really don't talk like that, but it's more so just a person who, without Brian, my career wouldn't be where it is, right? Like, there's no way to go around that. Like, Brian is a not just as a he was actually my agent at one point, which is interesting. Right when I first started, he was my best friend. He was a guy that taught me what fighting is. You know, like just like a brand of a fighting that I still really admire and look to emulate sometimes. It's just like he does it very well. I mean, the way Brian fights is a special way. And really invested a lot of time and effort and energy into like helping me become the fighter that I am today. Same with Robbie. You know, it's like kind of cool because like Robbie's a quiet guy, but we've talked a lot. And he's one of those people who just told me like, all you gotta do is get better. You know, and I was like, released with the UFC from the UFC. He's one of those people who really impacted my life and I still really admire. And work with both of them is like one of those things like, I mean, legends in their own right. When it comes down to somebody who's exciting fights, they both do. One as a young version or a young guy, and Brian, who's just like a dog of a fighter, a tough person on and off the mats, a family man. Like there's a lot to learn from him, in that respect, and what he's willing to do for his people. Robbie, leader, family man, hustler, champion, invested in me, like just way before he knew he was going to fight Bourbon. And then talking about like before he even fought Nate for the second time, it was just like he's always been giving me different gems, little gems here and there, conversation, training sessions, like things, and just watching how he lives his life. It's been one of those things like man, I see why this guy's done what he's done in his career and continues to fight at a high level. And watching that fight scene, two guys who are impacting my life in different ways, and just to me, like I actually didn't even finish the fight. I started it and then I rewatched it. So I guess I should say that because it wasn't even like an emotional thing. It's more just like one of those weird moments you're just watching. Is this how it's funny how small this world is, right? Like, there's so much to it. You see, I saw Brian's wife in the corner, Coach Jim, like just different things. And there's a guy, Tom, who's actually fighting the card. He's doing well. I think he's fighting on the XMMA card too. He's an amateur, but he's gonna do pretty well. I met him right before I left to come down to Kyoto Fight Club. Right. He's a wrestler out of California. Works with Weidman and Barberena a lot. So I know he's on his way up, and I hope he does really well. He got a great coach, great team, or great coach and great, especially with Brian and Weidman. I don't know all the training partners that he has, but I think it's pretty cool. So you just kind of see like how that Robbie Lawler, Bryan Barberena, like how they trickle down into the people that train with them. They help them become successful. And that to me are things that measure great fighters, right? The guys that impact you. So I don't know. I haven't talked to Brian in a long time, but I think that he's been doing well. Fought hard in that Matt Brown fight. I watched that one. Saw that was it Vanilla Gorilla? He thought some guy before that. I think I forgot who won that fight, but he fought hard that one. And you just see him like he looks healthy, looks like he's getting healthier and healthier. So I think he's gonna do something special. We'll see who he fights next. And people always gotta watch that dude comes to fight. And I think a lot of fighters can take a lot of lessons from him. Robbie, man, like watching him just in training, how he prepares. Like you have to talk to him. I mean, I bet you talked to Robbie before, but just like having conversations with him, you're like, man, like no wonder you're a champion. Like just the way he thinks about, the way he works, the way he trains, and the different gems. And he could just tell me something like, Impa, why are you doing it like this? Do it like this. Like, oh man, I've been trying to work on that for months. And he'll tell me. So it's just he sees things like somebody who's really been in it. and he's down to fight, you know, and I'd always be just fine, be okay. And looking forward what he does next, man. He's a true legend, and you don't get really said about a lot of people. So being able to be around him and work with him and learn from him and Barberena means a lot. So yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, man. I appreciate it. And thank you for your time. I really appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you.
If you want to plug your social media, plug any sponsors you got, you want to thank anybody, the floor is yours.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, shout out to Sanford, Gilcliff. Grateful for them and know that they were provided in this great gym. And you know, you can follow me on social media on Impa K5, Impa's Refinery, Impa's _ Refinery on my training page and all that's going on. Stay tuned for some motorcycle content coming here and some adventures. OnlyFans, have that, you know, started sharing some motorcycle adventures, workout trips, some behind the scenes of what I do as a fighter in life. Nothing not suitable for work, so don't get excited. Manscaped, thank you for your support, and you know, the actually comfortable boxers, which is cool. And I got made fun of for that a lot when I had to consider the video for them. Thank you for who else I worked with now, you know, Blackwood for men, their soap, their products, and just everybody's been supporting me. Thank you for always having me on. It's always great talking to you. I hope to see you, and then, you know, get back to Vegas, you know, and hopefully talk after this fight and after the Clemens victory. So yeah.